I wrote it and I wrote the manuscript and I had, kind of visual references of what type of art direction and the way I wanted to film it and the colors I wanted to use. There's just sort of a palette.
Y'all, this is the drama no one saw coming. Taylor Swift, the queen of loyalty, might have just turned on her bestie Blake Lively. And Hollywood is shaking. Like, are we living in an alternate timeline? Did Mercury retrograde hit harder than usual? Because this tea is scalding. It all started with a movie, It Ends With Us, a film adaptation of the Colleen Hoover book that had the girlies in a chokehold. Was supposed to be a moment. We had Blake Lively starring, Justin Baldoni directing, and fans ready to eat it up. But instead of a heart-wrenching romance, we got a full-blown celebrity scandal that's juicier than a reality TV finale. And now, the internet is spiraling because rumors say Taylor Swift, yes, Miss Ride or Die Swift, has receipts that expose Blake's side of the story as not quite adding up. Like, I need a second to process because what? Let's get into it. Okay, first, let's set the stage. Blake Lively, Hollywood's golden girl, Serena Van Derwoodson in the flesh, wife of Ryan Reynolds, aka the internet's boyfriend, and the human embodiment of effortless chic. She's got that cool mom who still wears Chanel energy and everyone loves her. Until now. Then we have Justin Baldoni, the Jane the Virgin heartthrob, who somehow makes you cry in every role he plays. He's also the director of It Ends With Us, and until recently was considered one of the good guys in Hollywood. But Blake has been out here dropping bombshells that paint him as a total villain. And then there's Taylor Swift. Do I even need to introduce her? Global icon, professional grudge holder, CEO of Girl Squads, and now, reportedly, the person who just shook this entire feud to its core. So, how did we go from besties sipping Aperol spritzes on the beach to Hollywood's messiest falling out? Buckle up. Oh wait, can't say that? Hang on. All right, so how do we go from a highly anticipated romance adaptation to a Hollywood feud that has more twists than a Shonda Rhimes series? Let's break it down. So It Ends With Us was supposed to be Blake Lively's big dramatic moment. Her transition from sassy rom-com lead to serious awards-worthy actress. Think A Star Is Born moment, but with less singing and more emotional trauma. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni, the charming, soft-spoken actor turned director, was stepping behind the camera to bring the book's powerful themes to life. On paper, it sounded like a dream team, but then the cracks started showing. At first, everything seemed peachy. Blake and Justin did interviews, talked about their amazing creative partnership, and hyped up how deeply personal this project was for both of them. But then, almost out of nowhere, the headlines started shifting. Suddenly, sources were whispering about on-set tension, creative disagreements, and power struggles. And then, boom, Blake drops a legal bombshell, accusing Justin of creating a hostile work environment. She claimed that he ignored her input on the film's direction. He was leaking stories to the press to control the narrative. And most disturbingly, he made offhand comments about her postpartum body that left her feeling disrespected.
A lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which one?
It's just,
now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
And tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in the shot.
Naturally, the internet lost its mind. Team Blake came in guns blazing, defending her as a working mom, dealing with Hollywood's toxic beauty standards. Fans were saying, ugh, typical another male director undermining a powerful woman in the industry. The feminist blogs were fired up, Twitter was ablaze, and people were ready to cancel Justin before he could even issue a statement. But Justin's team, they weren't just sitting back and taking the heat. They came prepared. Listen, when a celebrity feud breaks out, there are two types of people. The ones who go radio silent and hope it all blows over. The ones who pull out every text, email, and screenshot to defend themselves. Justin, he's a category 2 kind of guy. Shortly after Blake's claims made headlines, Justin's team hit back hard. And let me tell you, the drama escalated fast. They released private text messages and emails that told a very different story. Messages where Justin was allegedly checking in on Blake's comfort during intense scenes, consulting her about changes to the script, and even acknowledging his own physical struggles. Because Fun fact, Justin has a chronic back condition while making sure she didn't feel pressured on set. Oh, and the biggest shocker, some of the leaked texts allegedly show Blake herself orchestrating behind the scenes power moves, suggesting that she wanted more creative control over the film, the marketing, and even the narrative around it. Y'all, that's when the tide started turning, because now people were side-eyeing Blake's story and wondering, was she really being undermined, or was she trying to manipulate the situation to gain more power? And just when we thought the plot couldn't get thicker, Taylor Swift entered the chat. Y'all, when I say no one saw this coming, I mean no one. Like, if you had Taylor Swift versus Blake Lively on your 2024 Celebrity Feud bingo card, congrats. You're a psychic, and I need you to pick my lottery numbers. Because here's the thing, Taylor and Blake weren't just Hollywood acquaintances. They weren't just friendly in a we to Akasi on a selfie on Azadat gala kind of way. These two were besties. We're talking family vacations, secret handshake energy, godmother to Blake's kid type of besties. Taylor literally name dropped Blake and Ryan Reynolds' children in her song lyrics. I mean, if that's not best friend privilege, I don't know what is. So naturally, when the drama between Blake and Justin exploded, everyone just assumed Taylor would be 1000% Team Blake, like no questions asked, ride or die. Swifties had their pitchforks. But then the rumor mill started turning, and suddenly whispers started floating around that Taylor wasn't so sure about Blake's version of events. And then the bomb dropped. Taylor allegedly has receipts that expose Blake. So according to multiple Hollywood insiders, hey, you gossip guys blessing us with their wisdom, Taylor Swift has receipts, as in real hard, damning evidence that contradicts Blake's entire story. Now, let's pause here for a second, because Taylor Swift is not a stay out of it type of girl. She is the queen of keeping receipts. She writes entire 10-minute songs about people who cross her. This is a woman who has publicly exposed entire record labels, feuded with Scooter Braun, and turned Kanye West's career into a cautionary tale. So if Taylor actually has proof that Blake wasn't telling the whole truth, ooh, baby, this is a problem. From what's being whispered in industry circles, Taylor allegedly has screenshots of conversations between Blake and key film executives where she strategized how to gain more creative control, emails suggesting that Blake planned to leak certain damning stories about Justin to shift public sympathy in her favor.
And we went into the audition, and he signed in, and then the casting director came out and said, Blake? And Eric said, yep, that's her. And I just thought I was gonna die. And she said, we don't have you on our call sheet. And he said, oh, and he put his agency's name. And so I auditioned, and I didn't know what to say in that moment. I was 16, and my brother had just written my name on a piece of paper, and they were looking at me. So I walked in the room and did the audition.
And the biggest bombshell? Allegedly, text messages where Blake outright admits that she was considering using the woman in Hollywood narrative to sway public opinion. Y'all, if this is true, this would mean Blake wasn't just caught in an unfair power struggle. She was playing the game herself. And what does Taylor do when she finds out someone she trusted isn't being completely honest? Well, historically, she does not stay quiet. Did Taylor go to the studios? Now, this is where things go from Hollywood drama to full-blown movie plot twist. Because if these sources are to be believed, Taylor didn't just sit on this information. Oh, no. Allegedly, Taylor went straight to the top. As in, she took her receipts to the studio executives working on It Ends With Us and basically went, hey, you might want to look at this before making any decisions. And let me tell you, Hollywood power players do not take that lightly. Because love her or hate her, Taylor Swift has one of the most powerful voices in the industry. If she tells people Blake's story doesn't add up, it's game over. And the fallout, immediate. Within days of these rumors leaking, we saw Blake's legal team backing away. Hollywood producers suddenly reevaluating their partnerships with her. Crew members from the film starting to speak out. Some even contradicting Blake's version of events. It was like a house of cards collapsing in real time. And at the center of it all, Taylor Swift, standing there with a stack of receipts and a quiet but devastating, I can't support this energy. Now, the big question everyone's asking is why? Like, why would Taylor, who is so famously loyal to her inner circle, suddenly turn on one of her best friends? And honestly, that's where things get really interesting. Some fans think Taylor values honesty and integrity more than blind loyalty. Like, yeah, she'll defend her people until she sees proof that they might be in the wrong. Others think Taylor felt personally betrayed by Blake, maybe because Blake lied to her directly about the situation. If Blake had vented about Justin to Taylor for months, only for Taylor to later find out there were missing details, that would explain a lot. And then there's the theory that Taylor just didn't want to be dragged into another messy Hollywood drama. Y'all, let's be real. Miss Swift has been through enough feuds for 5 lifetimes. Maybe she just wanted to keep her hands clean, and when the truth started coming out, she was like, I'm not going down with this ship. Whatever the reason, this was a major move, because if there's one thing we know about Hollywood, when Taylor Swift pulls her support, the industry follows. And Blake, she might not be able to come back from this one. Y'all, if Blake Lively thought this was going to be a David versus Goliath story, with her as the oppressed actress fighting against an overbearing male director, well, the plot just flipped on its head.
I think most actors' dream is to be able to do a period piece film, but I got to do an every period piece film because this dates back to 1908 till now. So to explore the different decades, the fashion, the hair and makeup, and just how women were treated in each of those different eras.
Because after Taylor allegedly dropped those receipts, it wasn't just the It Ends With Us production that took a turn. Hollywood itself started backing away from Blake, and fast. Now, let's be real, Hollywood is a fickle place. One minute, you're everyone's favorite leading lady, and the next, you're the cautionary tale in a producer's PowerPoint on reputation management. And it looks like Blake might be heading for PowerPoint territory. Because when lawyers start walking away, when producers start suddenly reassessing their collaborations, and when your own film crew starts whispering about your behavior on set, ooh, girl, you're in trouble. So what exactly is happening? Let's get into it. So remember how Blake was gearing up for a legal battle? She had lawyers, PR reps, and a whole army ready to take down Justin Baldoni and fight for her claims. Well, that all fell apart when her own lawyer abruptly walked away from the case. Now, I don't know if y'all are familiar with how Hollywood legal drama works, but lawyers don't just drop A-list clients unless something is seriously off. The official reason? Irreconcilable differences. The real reason? Allegedly, the lawyer saw the receipts and went, oh, we're not winning this. Yikes. Because if the evidence is that shaky, then even the best Hollywood legal teams don't want to risk their reputation defending it. And a dropped legal case is basically a neon sign that says something here isn't adding up. And when Hollywood smells weakness, they move on quickly. Okay, so here's where things get really bad for Blake. After the lawyer exit, Hollywood producers, casting directors, and execs started distancing themselves from her. Now, before this drama, Blake was in talks for multiple major projects, a leading role in a prestige drama, a Netflix miniseries, and even some big brand collaborations. But now, suddenly, those deals are on pause. And by on pause, I mean they're ghosting her harder than a bad Tinder date. Allegedly, studio execs are nervous about associating with her because they don't want to get caught in the crossfire of a Hollywood scandal. They're worried about her credibility after Taylor's alleged receipts surfaced. They don't want to invest in an actress whose reputation might tank before a film even gets released. Because, let's be honest, Hollywood doesn't care about morality, they care about money. And if an actress suddenly looks like a liability, they're out. And it's not just the studios. Apparently, some of Blake's industry friends have also gone radio silent. People who used to publicly hype her up, now they're quiet. And y'all know in Hollywood, silence speaks volumes. So what does this mean for her career? Well, let's talk about the crew members who are now coming forward.
Oh, it's so hard. Look, first of all, being a director is a very lonely job and there's a lot of pressure. And I think the only way that I got through it is I just surrounded myself with people that were so much smarter than me. As it relates to the acting part, it's a heavy load to carry. I wanted to do as much justice as I could to survivors by making Ryle as truthful as possible.
So here's the thing. When a celebrity is beloved, crew members will defend them. When a celebrity isn't, people start talking. And people are definitely talking. According to multiple sources, crew members on It Ends With Us are now saying Blake wasn't exactly the victim she made herself out to be. Some of the claims being whispered include she allegedly demanded constant script changes, but then blamed Justin when the production schedule got messy. She pushed for extra takes, but later used that as proof that Justin was making unreasonable demands on set. And the worst one, some crew members say she was using her Hollywood connections to try and control the messaging about the film. Yo, so let's get this straight, because if these reports are true, it means Blake wasn't just an innocent actress being steamrolled. It means she was playing the Hollywood game and lost. And now with Taylor Swift, of all people, stepping back from her, this might be the biggest PR nightmare of Blake's career. So the question is, can she recover? And that's where things get even messier. All right, y'all, we've made it through the twists, turns, and jaw-dropping revelations of this Hollywood mess. But now the real question is, what happens next? Because let's be honest, Blake's career is on the line. Justin is out here looking like a victim, and Taylor Swift has thrown a plot twist into this scandal that no one saw coming. At this point, It Ends With Us is no longer just a movie adaptation. It's a full-blown Hollywood soap opera with power plays, secret alliances, and backstabbing besties. Like, if someone told me Shonda Rhimes was secretly writing this behind the scenes, I'd believe them. So let's break down what could happen next for Blake, Justin, Taylor, and the future of this film. First up, Miss Blake Lively. Now, before this scandal, Blake's reputation was basically untouchable. She was known as the effortlessly chic, drama-free queen of Hollywood, but now her brand has taken a serious hit. Because let's be real, Hollywood does not like a credibility crisis. And right now, Blake's entire image is in question. The biggest issue? Trust. If Taylor really did turn against Blake because she saw proof that Blake was manipulating the narrative, that means other Hollywood insiders are probably seeing it too. And let me tell you, when Hollywood stops trusting you, the opportunities dry up fast. So what can Blake do? Well, she's got a few options. Apology tour. She could own up to what happened, issue a carefully worded statement, and try to spin this as a misunderstanding. Maybe something like, I was feeling overwhelmed, emotions were high, and I regret how things played out. You know, the usual damage control script. On the offensive, she could fire back at Justin, deny everything, and claim this is just a calculated smear campaign. But let's be real, that's risky, because if more receipts drop, she'll be digging herself into a deeper hole. The silent treatment, she could disappear for a while, let the heat die down, and then slowly ease her way back into the industry once the drama fades. Hollywood has short-term memory loss when it comes to scandals. If she plays it right, she could make a quiet comeback in a couple of years. But here's the thing, this isn't just about her career. This is about her entire public persona. And if Taylor Swift, a woman who built her empire on loyalty and sisterhood, no longer trusts her, oof, that's a massive reputation hit. And speaking of Taylor, now this is where things get really interesting, because so far, Taylor hasn't made an official statement about any of this. And let's be real, she doesn't. Taylor Swift has reached a level of celebrity power where she doesn't need to fight her battles publicly. She could just let the rumors swirl, let Hollywood insiders piece things together, and sit back while the industry does the work for her.
I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, you know, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful, that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like, that's what I'm grateful for.
And you had a key part in bringing it to the big screen. How did this all come to be?
Well, in 2019, I read the book. I was sent the book by my book agent and friend at the time, and I was looking for films that could inspire, that were commercially viable, but also could really like reach in and touch somebody's heart.
But will she actually stay quiet? That's where things get tricky. Here are the possible scenarios. She issues a vague, let's all be kind statement. You know, something neutral like, I love and respect all parties involved and I hope for a peaceful resolution. Classic, I'm distancing myself, but I don't want to start World War III energy. She subtly shades Blake through a song or social media. Cause come on, it's Taylor Swift. If she's really feeling some type of way about this, she could easily throw in a not so subtle lyric in her next album that has fans dissecting every syllable. She just lets the industry handle it. Cause at this point, she doesn't need to say anything. If the rumors are true, Hollywood already knows what's up. She doesn't have to publicly betray Blake she can just step back and let nature take its course. But let's be real, Taylor choosing not to defend Blake already says a lot. Because in the past, when her friends have been in scandals, she stood by them. Remember when Selena Gomez was getting hate? Taylor was right there. When Sophie Turner's divorce drama went public, Taylor was whining and dining with her every night. So the fact that she's not shown that same energy for Blake, that's loud. Now let's talk about the guy at the center of all this. Justin Baldoni started out as the villain of this story, but after the receipt drops and Taylor's alleged involvement, he's starting to look more like the victim. And listen, Hollywood loves a redemption arc. Justin's entire brand is built on being a thoughtful, emotional, good guy in the industry. If he plays his cards right, he could actually come out of this looking even better than before. Here's how he could spin it. I just wanted to make a great movie. He can frame this entire drama as something he never wanted. Like, I wanted to tell an important story, and it's heartbreaking that it got overshadowed by all this. Respect Blake and wish her the best. Take the high road, show that he's not bitter and that he's moving forward. Lean into the transparency angle. He's already been dropping full receipts instead of selective snippets, which makes him look honest and open. If he keeps doing that, Hollywood will respect it. So yeah, Justin might actually walk away from this stronger than before. Which leads us to the biggest question of all. Will it end with us even survive this? Because let's not forget, this whole drama started over a movie. And now nobody's talking about the film itself, just the scandal surrounding it. Which begs the question, is this film even going to make it to theaters? Honestly, it's not looking great. Here's why. Audiences may have a hard time separating the drama from the actual movie. Like, who's going to sit through it without thinking, damn, this movie caused an entire Hollywood meltdown? Studios might not want to promote it heavily because they don't want more controversy. Blake's reputation could affect box office numbers. If people stop rooting for her, they might not show up. Now, there's a chance the studio tries to spin this as publicity because, let's be real, Hollywood loves drama. But this scandal is so messy and negative, it's not the kind of press they want. So yeah, this movie might just become the most infamous film of the year for all the wrong reasons. Right now, if we had to call it, Blake Lively losing hard. Justin Baldoni surprisingly winning. Taylor Swift sitting pretty and untouchable as always. But y'all, this drama is far from over. So now I need to hear your thoughts. Is Blake the victim or the villain here? Was Taylor right to turn on her? And will it ends with us even make it to theaters? Drop your hotel takes in the comments. And while you're at it, smash that like button because your girl's got to get her nails done. All right, fam, that's all the tea I have for now. But trust me, this story is far from over. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because I'll be here with every new twist and turn. Until then, stay messy, stay nosy, and I'll see y'all next time.